And hello fellow Taker, Space Bandit here with another episode of World of Tanks, and today we are going to take a quick look at Tier 10 Premium Russian medium tank T-22. Now this is not going to be some crazy long review, it's just quick impressions and what I think of it. So looking at the stats quickly, this tank has 100mm gun, which is equivalent with other Russian Tier 10 tanks, or quite similar to T-62A, to Object 140, Object 430, and its other premium counterpart, Object 907. So why should you choose this tank over the other tanks? To be honest, you shouldn't. You shouldn't. All the other tanks are better than this tank, to be honest, including the 907. So the worst part is the rate of fire. You have 6.38 rounds per minute on this tank, while all the other Tech Tree tanks are so much better. Basically you get over 9 rounds per minute. Not to mention Object 430, which has 938. Even Object 907 has 7.94 rounds per minute. So yeah, it's a much better tank than T-22 overall. Now, as far as average alpha is concerned, the same thing for all the tanks. 320 average alpha. Penetration, very similar. 264 on standard shells, 330 on premium shells. And what's worse is the aim time. I think aim time on all the Russian tanks at Tier 10, including 907, is something like 2.1 seconds, while T-22 has 2.4 seconds. I know in current meta it's not a big problem with respect to that, but you know, if you choose to optimize something else, you don't have to be optimizing your aim time in this situation. Gun accuracy is also worse. It's at 0.38 versus, you know, other Russian tanks are usually 0.36 or 0.35. So yeah, it's just, this tank just doesn't do it. It doesn't have any gun depression either. It's only 5 degrees. I know 907 is the same, but if you look at Tech Tree tanks like, let's say, Object 140, it has -7 degrees of gun depression. Object 430 also has 5 degrees. So if you're more of a gun depression type of a guy, I would recommend going 140 route. But then Object 140 does not have the same turret armor as Object 430 or T-62A or T-22 or Object 907. So yeah, there are some pros and cons with all of the Tier 10 Soviet medium tanks. You just have to look at the specs in more detail. Another big thing about this tank, about T-22, is the fact that traverse speed is not the best and terrain resistances are not the best. So this tank is not easy to play, guys, to be honest. And please stick around until the end of this video, because I will show you some testing that I've done with Freddy on this tank versus Object 430, and you'll see the big differences there for sure, as far as the rate of fire is concerned. And also the armor. You know, even though the armor on this tank is supposed to be really good, it actually is not. I mean, any tank at Tier 9 or 10 will be able to go through your upper and lower plates, no problem, unless you angle the tank. But even if you angle this tank, your upper plate will still be visible. So whoever doesn't know where to shoot you and they shoot you in a hole, if you angle it, yes, that will bounce. It's an out of bounds angle at, let's say, 45 degrees. But they can still shoot you in your drive wheel, and if you hide your drive wheel, they can shoot you through your top plate, right underneath your turret. So yeah, it's a high skill tank, so for newer players I would strictly not recommend this. If you really want to get a Russian premium at Tier 10, go the Object 907 route, because overall it is a better tank. Anyway, I haven't had any spectacular games in this tank. I'm just showing you one game. I played in total of 11 games in this tank, to be honest, and I didn't like it. I decided not to play it anymore. I did average over 2,000 damage, I think 2.2k per game. So, you know, it's like, if you know how to play the game, obviously you'll get your damage. But I didn't have any spectacular crazy results in the 11 games I played. But this game was kind of nice, because me and friendly 50B are gonna hold this corner, and you'll see what happens here. So as you notice there, we actually bounced the shell from Leopard because we angled and he shot our hole. If you angle at 45 degrees like that and opposition shoots your hole, obviously they'll bounce because it's an out of bounds angle at that point. But if they shoot you through drive wheel like he did right there, or shoot you through the top plate, yeah, they'll be able to pen you no problem. And with that gun depression, because you have only 5 degrees, you are pretty much forced to play the ravine kind of a style. You don't play the ridges. So as you can see, I position my tank sort of in the middle of that mini ravine over here, or dip if you want to call that. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna hold this corner pretty well. Now I would have probably died here, because as you can see here, I'm a one shot and just pretty much anything. But that 50B that plays with me on the left hand side, he just played fantastic, and he was using his tank properly as well, so it was great. So what we're gonna do here, this button's coming, he's gonna kill us for sure, but we managed to track him, and because we dipped down, he bounced his shell off our turret armor, and here we track him again, and luckily our 50B takes down the leopard who was overexposing over the hill. So as you can see, like if you play this tank like this, hiding in a dip with your turret armor poking out only, obviously you're gonna bounce a lot because that turret armor is really good. Now this guy is going after us. He does manage to pen us though. We do take him out of the game. At the same time, the other medium tank was taken out. Now we see this T-52 and he's a scary fellow. So we're gonna try to angle here and stay in a dip as much as we can. If he hit our top plate here, he would have penned us, but our 50B played a fantastic game over here, and he holds him at bay. And yeah, it was just a fantastic hold for a split second. So Russian tanks are still capable of doing this if you play them right, if you use them to their strengths, especially their strong turret armors. They can do this kind of stuff. But pretty much any other Russian medium tank at tier 10 would be able to do the same thing here, right? So it's not like anything spectacular about T-22. It's just the way it worked out. And with rate of fire of other Russian tanks, you would have probably dispatched out the opposition much quicker. Not only that, you would have probably gotten, or I would have probably gotten higher damage game out of this as well. But regardless, it is what it is. The game is finished. Let's quickly take a look at the post-game stats. It won't be anything spectacular, just your average game, but we did manage to almost do what, 3.6, 3.7k damage, almost 4k, which is not bad. Finish on top of the team. We still made credits, but that's because we weren't carrying any premium consumables. If we were carrying premium consumables, we would definitely lose credits on this game. Anyway, let's quickly take a look at this tank's build and how I had it built for this game, and then after that you're gonna see a small snippet from testing that I've done with Freddy on this tank versus Object 430. Alright, so looking at the tank build, let's take a look at my equipment first. So what we're doing is we're running improved ventilation, running advanced loader, and gun stabilizer. The reason why I'm doing this is because I want to improve the reload slightly, right? I mean, I could potentially run optics and extend my view range, but because of the poor reload, I think I really need to improve that aspect of the tank. That's why I'm doing that. As far as the consumables, as you notice here, I'm not carrying premium consumables with exception of combat ratios or food. Now let's quickly look at the commander. So just a regular setup, 6 cents, born leader, rapid loading. This is standard for pretty much all the tanks. Then steady aim, rapid aim. This is just to improve the gun accuracy. Gunsmith until they fix it. I'm gonna run Gunsmith to improve the accuracy of the gun again. Snapshot and run and gun again. These are more accuracy perks for the gun, and situational awareness just to help with the view range a little bit, to extend it to 424 meters of view range. If you would put optics on this, you would extend it to over 460, which is not bad. And then if you think the gun is good enough as it is, then maybe you can use some of these perks to optimize camo potentially, because this tank has pretty decent view range, so you can optimize it for view range and camo. That would probably work, but I like to play my tanks, especially Russian tanks, close. That's why I prefer mostly my gun perks or skills to be in here, so that I can just snap shoot whenever I need to shoot tanks quickly while moving my turret. So that's very important to me. It might not be important to you, right? Anyway, looking at my gun accuracy with those skills, this is gonna be crazy what you're gonna see right here. Yeah, absolutely crazy. 0.19 accuracy on this gun right now. Rate of fire 788. Okay, that's about it. Let's jump into the quick comparison between 430 and T-22 right now, and in that you're gonna hear voices from the party chat that I had with Freddy, so I'm gonna tune out right here. Enjoy.
Just looking at the soft stats, it's worse than K91. And K91 has not been buffed. It's is. So, yeah, there's nothing to talk about.
Yeah, forget it, dude. But what I want to do is, I do want to get in a training room quickly.
Okay.
Just so you can, I want to show the difference in rate of fire and how quickly you can actually kill me with your 430.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Easy.
Well, that's the thing.
Easy.
But that's the thing, you know, like, that's an eye-opener, right? Like, I mean, you have two tanks that are supposed to be competing, and one is completely destroying the other. One is a tech tree tank, the other one's a premium tank, which you have to pay money for, which is kind of stupid, right?
Yeah.
So,
well, they're like, I know what Minto's answer to that would be. Like, oh, we're not trying to make it pay to win, you know? Because everybody's like telling that the game is pay to win nowadays and stuff. So they're like, oh, wait, well, it's not pay to win. But then also, like, I know why they did nerf it so badly. For one, because they are selling it for gold, so they will not be able to nerf it. And then they will just buff it, and people that bought it for gold would be like, oh, look, they buffed my tank that I bought for gold. That's cool. You know?
yeah.
It's a simple psychological marketing stunt. That's all it is. Nothing more. Are you in the custom games already?
No, I'm not. If you can create something, then invite me and I'll go in.
The whole thing with that tank is that the armor is very trolly. It's not the same as you think it is. It's not as simple. The upper plate is junk. It's garbage. It's absolutely reversed from your normal logic. The upper plate is garbage, but the lower plate is actually auto bounce.
Okay, hang on. Let's go into one line, right? Because that's a straight line there, I guess,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Or do you want to go on top?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. We can do it one line. That's fine. I'm close to it anyways.
Yeah, that's probably the closest. So I'm gonna set up. So I want to set up frontally, so that you can. I want to see. Maybe first try your standard ammo and just go through lower and upper plate just to see. Actually, no. Let's start with one thing at a time. So.
Okay.
Maybe lower plate first.
Okay. Let's do that. Do you notice they changed the ammo icons?
Yeah, well, come on, dude. Like, seriously. Like, there's so many other things to fix right now in the game, right?
Okay, let me get...
Okay, just go on this road.
You're on the road.
Yeah, there you go. Yep. Get on this road.
So, let's see. Distance is...
What is it?
122. Let me do 150 meters.
Okay, do 150.
26.
Right. Okay, hang on a second. Before you start shooting, let me just...
Yep.
I want to see where you're penning me, that's all. So I'm just going to turn my camera around so I can see. Okay.
It shows orange on the bottom plate.
Alright, let's go.
It shows red on the upper. So, that's bottom plate.
Middle. Straight bend. This is standard ammo, right?
Yeah, this is all standard.
Okay.
Upper plate.
No problem. No problem.
No.
No problem, comrade.
Straight
everywhere.
Through.
Everywhere.
The turret probably won't be able to go through.
No, can you... No, wait. Can you still go through upper plate? Try, like, the middle portion. I want to see if it actually bounces at all.
Oh, no. It won't.
It doesn't bounce at
all.
all.
Red.
Nothing.
It's all red. It's all red.
What's your penetration on standard ammo on this thing?
264.
Oh, my goodness. Alright, good.
Yeah.
All right.
That was straight through. And if I hit the track, straight through. Turn like a diamond pattern. Yeah, like that. Stop like that.
Okay, wait. Don't shoot yet.
I'm still going right through you, man.
Shoot. Okay, try again.
Okay, so if I hit the middle part, the bottom of the side plate above the track, I bounce. Like right there, it's a bounce. It's auto bounce. It's just straight white. But if I hit right above it, I didn't hit the right part. 1 second.
Yeah, that doesn't.
Like
that didn't bend. Yeah.
But the track.
Well, that you're gonna pen for sure. No, but okay. So the question is, wait. So the question is, if I kind of, because if you cannot see my if you cannot see my upper plate, right? That's the idea. Well, you're still gonna see my upper plate regardless.
But that's the thing. The way you're turned right now, I can just shoot you right there.
Yeah, exactly. So it doesn't matter.
And that's it. You can't do anything. Like, and the track, I go through the track. And the worst part of it, that if I do food right now, you're perma-tracked. Like, even if I don't pan you, you're just stuck there. You know?
Right. Okay. Alright.
Yep. So.
Okay, man.
Look at the
then,
rate of fire.
it's a piñata, dude. This thing is a piñata, then.
Yep.
Just kill me.
That's
and
all standard. That's
Yeah.
all standard. Like, and considering the majority of people are straight gold nowadays.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
You know what's funny about that T-22? It has less horsepower per ton than the Concept 1B, which is a heavy tank.
Yeah.
And it has worse resistances, ground resistances, than the Concept 1B.
Well, compared to this, Concept 1B is a better tank, man. Not even a question. Not even a question.
Even considering that it has a horrible rate of fire
DPM.
as well.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, good.
Right. You want it? Do you want just straight without the food?
Oh, without the food. Yeah. No food.
Okay.
Just
so
straight
let's shoot at the same time.
Yeah.
You try to kill me, and I'll try to kill you, and I'll count to 3, or 3, 2, 1, go, and on the go we'll just shoot. You know.
Alright, let's
and
do
go
it,
as
man.
fast as we can.
Sure.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
I fired quicker, but it doesn't matter, man.
Nope.
This is gonna be fun. Wow.
I'm putting it on the shed before you reload.
Okay.
Man, this is
Okay.
hilarious.
Okay.
Dead.
How much HP? How much HP did you have left? Do you remember?
About 600.
Yeah.
600. Yeah, so I have 1900 HP, 400 you left me. You left me 400.
Wow.
So still 2 more shots you have to put into me.
That's right.
Kill me.
To kill you.
Yep.
All right. Just proves the point. All right, man. All right, that's enough. I think that's all I need, really, because well, what's the point? Big warning sign: do not buy.